leading the Knicks. However, Harden has 12 points out of the Rockets' 16 points thus
good
far.
sign.
So it's a good sign for Jose's prediction of the night that he's going to have
horrible sign for the efficiency of the Rockets.
65-plus points in this game. And, yeah, the only Rockets that have scored, if you're curious, Austin Rivers and Eric Gordon. Still no Chris Paul, obviously no Clint Capella. So that is the latest with the Rockets and the Knicks. Other hoops that might interest you tonight coming up in just a few minutes. San Antonio is in Philly. That game will be on ESPN nationally if you want to watch. That game's coming up in just a bit. Later tonight, the marquee game that is probably on the schedule for at least this evening is Denver at Utah. The Denver Nuggets have had a great year at 31-14. Utah slow start, starting to play a lot better. That game coming your way. And, really, I don't know what to do with myself. There's no football to look forward to yet this weekend. I don't feel right without having a game.
Rewatch Game of Thrones. You literally just talked about it.
I watched Game of Thrones.
Watch it again.
I've rewatched it. Right now I'm in the middle of
Watch it again.
Are you a Sopranos fan, Jose?
Another show I've been meaning to watch, but I haven't gotten to.
All right, watch Game of Thrones first because that's coming out soon. That will take you a while to get to.
Sopranos is like one of the best TV shows of all time.
It is, but I'm in the middle of.
I have to watch that.
I'm watching. I've only seen like the first season and a half of The Sopranos, and this was years ago. So over the last 2 weeks, I've gone back and started from the first episode of season 1 to now I'm at the end of season 3. So I'm in uncharted territory for The Sopranos.
It's 5 seasons, is it?
It is 6 seasons.
6, okay.
Really 7. Season 6 is double the episodes.
Okay. They didn't do a spinoff?
No.
Okay,
well, speaking of the spinoff.
Oh.
It's funny you mention that. That's where I was going. So it was announced yesterday that the Sopranos are making a movie that will be a prequel that will air on HBO, and James Gandolfini, who unfortunately passed away night of my high school graduation back in 2013. How about that? James Gandolfini, who I share a birthday with too, by the way. His son is going to play him in the prequel about Tony Soprano's life. So pretty cool. James Gandolfini, rest in peace. Your birthday's coming up in September, and I will say happy birthday to you as I always do each and every September. Now I can actually feel like I'm a part of it because I'm watching The Sopranos, and I understand what's going on. That does it for me. Thanks to Jose Partida for his help. If you missed any of the show, check out the podcast. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on SB Nation Radio.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on Western Reserve Radio. The Ohio Bobcats beat Western Michigan 81-76 last night. The Bobcats improved to 10-8 with the victory. 16 points for Gavin Block in the win. Jason Carter with 14 points and 7 rebounds. The Bobcats bounced back from last Friday's loss at Toledo. They host Ball State this Saturday afternoon. The Miami Redhawks beat Ball State 71-65 last night. The Redhawks now 10-9 with the victory. Ben Bowman led the team with 16 points. Darian Ringo with 15. The Redhawks host Bowling Green this Saturday night. In overtime, Kent State beat Toledo 87-85. Both teams are now 15-4. Willie Jackson just missed a double-double in the loss. He had 9 points and 13 rebounds. Akron beat Central Michigan 70-67. The Zips' Tyler Cheese with a double-double, 20 points and 12 boards. It's the perfect time to bring out your very best, so hurry in for great deals now at the Jeep Start Something New event. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep, Chuck Sanders, Western Reserve Radio.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 9 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield. Another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Get ready. It's Fight Night in Youngstown with your host, owner and editor of YoungstownBoxingNews.com, Brian Whan.
For another edition of Fight Night in Youngstown. Brian, Vinny, special guest Zion. For those of you who don't know Zion, you'll see her around at local boxing events. You're what, 8 years old? 9 years old. Goes to Western Reserve, just loves the sport of boxing. I see her at all the fights. And how did you get into boxing? Like, what made you all of a sudden decide, I go to these fights with my dad, but you take a real interest to it. I mean, you know all the fighters in the area by name. Do you have a favorite fighter from the area?
No, not really.
I know you're pretty tight with Darnell Boone.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I start seeing you at the gym, and you're starting to, get in, and you're starting to learn the sport a little bit, training with Vinny and all them at Southside Boxing Club. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But first thing first, I'm going to throw it to our producer, Jim here, who runs Western Reserve Radio. He's got some new things going on at the station as we're here at the Gessler Propane Studio. So, Jim, let them know what's going on here at the station.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know we expanded our platforms now. We are available on internet.radio.com, also now live online radio.com and radio.net. So we're starting to get around a little bit. Also, don't forget the Phantoms are back February 8th and 9th at the Cavelli Center. They'll be hosting the Lincoln Stars from the Western Conference. Great seats still available there. Call 330-747-PUCK. And if you can't be there, by all means, tune into Western Reserve Radio for all the action with the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
747-PUCK.
It is. See,
it's easy
to remember.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I think it's 7825, but I don't even know if you can dial anymore. Like, do they have the letters
I
on
could
there?
probably play with that phone number a lot. I might be using that all the time. Somebody asks me my phone number from here on out. You're getting random phone calls. Just so I can hit it, so people know they'll be like, "What'd you say?"
And of course, don't forget you can get us at WesternReserveRadio.com, and we are on Facebook Live right now at Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting. So we're all over the place, whether you're on the road, whether you're at home, or in between. If you're sitting in your local establishment, sitting in jail, I don't know,
in the bathtub,
whatever.
That's where Jen watched it last week. That's what I'm just saying. Like, she said, I took a bath and listened to you guys on the radio.
And I'm sure she's glad that you're just sharing that.
I was just glad that she was thinking about me while she was in the bathtub.
Now you said a couple weeks ago Jen's going to be fighting coming up. I mean, her first time in the ring. How's that coming? Is she training or what's she doing?
Oh, yeah, she's training. She's training real hard. She's been doing real well. Been just trying to correct, because Jen's been in the gym and around boxing now for a little while. Just trying to get some of the, the little things, bad habits she's picked up over the time, get them things straightened out. But she's been going out and getting some sparring down at Keith Burnside's, and we brought some sparring in from Cubs Boxing out in Butler, PA. So she's had some work with some other females from around the area, and we've gotten out of the gym and started getting some sparring, and she's been putting in the work. She's been doing real well, going to the Y, getting her run in and stuff, and doing a lot of cardio. And now that her foot's feeling better, she's starting to, get on the jump rope and things like that. So I mean, all in all, the training's going well. I'm impressed by the work she's put in and the things she's done. The only thing now is waiting for Rough and Rowdy to actually get back to us and give us some details and tell us some information, because we have gotten nothing. I don't know. Somebody else had said that they're like last second with everything, so we're still playing it by ear. Which they need to hurry up though, because we have a fighter from the area fighting on February 2nd up in Cleveland. What's the name of that show? What's that show?
Those are the Battle in the Ballroom.
The Battle in the Ballroom. That's
right. Those are very nice, well put together shows.
Yeah, we always enjoy going out there. I've had Ashton Owens on one of those shows, but Anthony Scandy looking to make his amateur debut up there in Cleveland, and he's been putting in the work, and he's been looking, like he's in shape. He just had a little setback though with this weather. As you can tell, I'm a little under the weather too. We all little head colds going around the gym and chest colds and stuff like that. So, but all in all, he's looking. We're going to make his debut. It's going to be an exciting time. He comes to fight. He's an athlete, so, he's got a lot of support behind him, too. I'm just kind of trying to get him ready to be ready for the Golden Gloves, and, Jack's going to have a show here shortly and be repping the Southside Boston Club.
Former Springfield Tiger football player. He anchored that defense for some decent teams there. So he's
we're getting some weird looks from Jim over here.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a second.
Well, usually we pick up on the names, of course.
Yeah.
Mark Means and I do in high school football, so it's always great to see those guys after, to see what they're doing. But not to distract, because the ladies seem to be taking over the sport recently. And, of course, we have Zion here.
I'll tell you what.
Ladies.
Yeah, this I was interested in to see. I mean,
we've talked about this, and we mentioned this on the last show. The evolution of women in the sport of boxing, and boxing with the women got the first real big boost there in the mid '90s, I'd say, when Christy Martin was boxing on Mike Tyson undercards, the coal miner's daughter. Then you saw the late Ali era there in the early 2000s, kind of peaked the sport again. Now all of a sudden you got the Katie Taylors of the world.
All right, so I'm gonna have to butt in here because there's a
Clarissa Shields, T-Rex.
But here's the problem that I have with the women's boxing, and there's been a lot of talk about
you fight 2 fights and you get a title shot.
Well, the title, well, you know what? Hey, for each their own. Good for them because it's and you're leaning right in that alley. Is there's not a huge market. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of females out there. So, like, you're getting titles quick.
Yeah.
And the girls that are on top, hey, I don't take nothing away from them. But the problem is they're not getting challenged because there's nobody else out there. And you might have one powerhouse in a division.
So I think we just had a phone call roll through. All right, you are on Fight Night in Youngstown. Who we got on the line here?
Hey, what's going on? It's Jose Loco Rodriguez.
Oh, we got Jose Rodriguez. Do you know who Jose Rodriguez is, Zion?
Yeah.
Jose Rodriguez. Hey, Jose right now is in Vegas with his brother Daniel. And you saw Danny fight on the show with the Palermo.
David
Did I say David? What did I say, Daniel? I'm sorry, guys, man. Okay, my bad. David Prince Rodriguez. University of Akron graduates. I do know who we're talking about here. But I'll tell you what, he was impressive. He started a little bit slow, and then he started working the body, then getting the headshots, landing combinations, and he looked very good. But Jose, man, you won me over when you fought at the Palermo Center in June of 2017, and he landed that hook on our boy Turtle Lavelle Hadley, man. That was nasty.
That was a great fight.
Oh, that was awesome, man. And I like you though because
not for Lavelle.
Anytime there's an amateur fight in Youngstown, Jose's here. I mean, he's coming down with the crew from his dad's gym there. Rodriguez Boxing was that in Talmadge.
Yes, sir.
Talmadge, I mean, he backs the sport, man. He comes, he roots the amateurs on. So you're out in Vegas right now. Tell us what you got going on out there.
Out here right now, we're trying to figure out what's the next move with our careers. As far as fight-wise, we're going to be fighting March 2nd in Covington, Kentucky.
Okay.
Go out there, try to get another dub. I'd really like to go out and impress and get the biggest win possible, which is a knockout, so I can just keep making a name for myself.
Keep making a name, and you know what? We've had this discussion before about like you're kind of doing this the hard route.
Yeah, we don't have anybody
backing you.
We're not signed to anyone, so.
And we had a discussion on.
Dad
And we've had a discussion on Facebook about that before, and maybe something as I said kind of came out wrong, but I think you kind of see what I'm saying because I see a fighter like you with a lot of potential in your brother, and it would be nice to see you guys with some kind of financial backing where all of a sudden you're able to fight every month.
Well, that's what they're doing right now, guy.
They're out
in Vegas setting up shop. You know what I mean? Putting in that work out there and getting noticed and going to be brought about. And we just what there was just the Pacquiao and
I seen you.
So you're making your moves and doing things right. So
hey, David looked pretty spiffy, man.
How
he likes to dress up.
Hey, how is training going out there? What is it that you like about being in Vegas? What's the atmosphere like, and how's camp going?
Well, actually, I don't know if too many people back home know a lot about Sean Porter, but he's not like a go out party type of guy. He's like a card night, board game type of person. So we don't go out and
that's
kick
a boxer's life.
We just train and stay focused. I mean, we all have fun, and we grew up working out and training together as well. So it's kind of like that old vibe. So I'm really liking it right now.
Yeah, well, I trained out in Vegas for a while. What I was getting at is, training in that weather and in that sun and being in that environment and There's a lot of gyms out there. I don't know exactly where
I
you're
seen
at
him
right
post
now.
pictures of snow on a mountain where he was running.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get to go out to the mountains and run up the mountains and stuff. So the whole training environment, not so much about the Vegas. Everybody knows Vegas. Everybody knows about the clubs and all the fun that goes there. But when you go out there as a fighter and you settle down and you're out there for your job, it's a little different. And that's kind of like
Right.
what I was leaning towards. How's all that going out there? You like it in Vegas? Like, I know Kelly Pavlik wasn't a big fan of leaving home.
Oh, actually, I really love it because the deal with training back home is, like you mentioned earlier, my father does run a gym, and we don't have any other coaches in there. So a lot of the times, me and my brother find ourselves having to get ready for fights and help him run a gym at the same time. So I'll be getting ready for a fight, and my dad can't solely focus on me or focus on my brother. And sometimes that gets a bit annoying, just to keep it all the way real. It gets a bit annoying. So it's nice out here to just really not have to worry about running the gym, and I get to focus on myself all the way. Focus on myself, work out a couple times a day, and also back home I was also working 2 jobs while getting ready to fight and help run a gym. So out here it's just working out a couple times a day.
Stress free.
I really appreciate just being out here.
We got 24-year-old middleweight out of Akron, Jose Rogriguez Jr. joining us. 6-0, 4 knockouts. Got a fight coming up. He said March 2nd in Kentucky. Hey, Jose, man, we got a little girl here named Zion. I don't know if you've ever met her. She's a huge boxing fan.
No, I haven't met her.
Zion, you got any questions for Jose?
No.
About like his training?
She said no.
She said
no love for you.
She's real forward now.
Well, just keep doing what you're doing because I've been seeing the videos and stuff.
Yeah,
He sees you working out, man.
He don't know you, but he knows who you are.
He knows who you are.
See,
That's the first step. People just knowing who you are.
We're
And
making you famous.
and she's already on the road. I mean, that's great.
No, this is awesome though because I'm a big fan of the Rodriguez brothers. I think they're everything that boxing should be. And you just mentioned now what they do. They're not out living life. They're doing things right inside the ring and outside the rings. Me, Vinny, you said it all the time. Champions not necessarily made like inside the ring. It's what you do outside the ring when you leave the gym. A lot of guys have had their careers derailed by being out partying, smoking, drinking, doing whatever. And as you said, man, you're out in Vegas. There's temptation all over the place. And
yeah, yeah, it is. But I mean, we haven't really been put in that situation.
Exactly.
yeah, keep yourself
Exactly.
out of
We
the
haven't even
situation.
been around it. We haven't
Yeah,
entertained
if you're
any
not
of it.
around something, it's not gonna affect you at all. And being with Sean Porter and him already knowing how he lives his life out there, being since he lives out there, that changes everything. When you go out there and you're young and you're with other young guys, and you don't have somebody like Sean Porter to direct you, it could be complicated. But yeah, you guys are on the right path out there. You guys do the right things here when you're back home. So that's not really the transition that I was looking at. I was just more along the lines of want to know how your training's going and if you're enjoying Vegas, the weather, and you answered that.
Oh yeah, it's
You
going
answered
great,
all
man.
that.
I've been seeing the things back home about everything being canceled.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then, I don't know if you guys know, but in Akron, I guess they haven't been plowing the road. So
Man, they ain't
I guess
plowing the
it's
roads anywhere,
out
bro.
there.
Youngstown and Akron, man.
Yeah, you don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't even know. Liberty Township, where I'm from, which is Youngstown, right outside of the north side. We was waiting to see how long it was going to take them to come down our road. We were like, man, I guess we're never going to get to go.
Still
anywhere.
waiting.
Yeah, we're still waiting.
Looking through the window.
Hey, so another question I got for you out there is, what's the sparring like out there? I mean, is there a lot of guys in the gym? You getting a lot of work, or is it?
Actually, we've just been moving around with Sean. Actually, Shane Mosley Jr. has been working out with us, so we've been moving around with Sean, and we've been moving around with him. That's the only work we've got so far.
And Mosley Jr., he had a nice run on the Contender Series that they just aired.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You
Pretty solid guy.
And you got some work in not this recent camp, I don't think, but Caleb Plant's last camp they had. Didn't you get some work in with him?
Yeah, I got some work with him last year when Sean brought us out.
Yeah.
And, man, I'll tell you what, I am not afraid to admit it when I get outboxed, but I got outboxed that day. Definitely, for sure. I got outboxed.
So
that opened my eyes and made me know I had a lot of things to work on.
So you're saying that Caleb Plant is more than just, a lot of times, sometimes people like to call, with all the world champions you have. I think Caleb Plant's a legit champion, that he showed a skill set that is unparalleled to a lot of fighters. I think he's a guy that can reign pretty long with the IBF belt.
I agree. He's got a lot of talent.
I agree too. As a boxer, I think he has all the skills in the world, and he a lot of people were questioning his chin before that fight.
Yeah.
I don't think you can question it after that.
No, he took some hits, man. That was a fun fight. I mean, you know what was awesome about that fight is how they were really pushing it during the NFL playoffs. You know, you kept seeing commercials for it. They had it on a Sunday night, FS1, and I heard the ratings were pretty solid for it. I had people inboxing me who really never really watched boxing saying, hey, did you watch that fight? Like, what do you think? You know, yeah, you know, no, I didn't watch it. You know, seriously, you're messaging me, asking me if I watch it, but I had people coming up to me, messaging me saying, man, boxing is fun, man. That was awesome.
It's playoff time.
And
that was a good one.
I truly think that fight did the sport of boxing a lot of good. Hey, I got a question for you. Vinny's been asking questions, and Vinny always asks more of the boxing questions, but man, when are you going to post some dancing videos from Vegas, man? You're always dancing around the gym back in Talmadge.
Posting videos?
Yeah.
Man, maybe I could try to get something. Maybe I can try to get something going here soon. Hey, but guys, we're actually about to get this workout going right now. I missed the first round.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, go put that work in,
Go put that work in. Hey, when you get back in town or whatever, and you're back in Talmadge down the road or whatever, man, we got to get you guys in studio, both you and your brother.
Oh, yeah.
Come up here and hang out, man. That'd be awesome, man. Well, good luck, man. I look forward to keeping in touch with you guys and keep doing your thing, man.
All right, you guys take it easy. Thanks for having me call in.
Yep.
Thank you.
All righty, peace.
That was a good call, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, the Rodriguez brothers. Hey, for a while, I could never tell who was who. Like, if they weren't together, I didn't know who was who.
David, dang, I can't believe I botched that. But
now I can tell. Now I can tell because they shaved. He shaved. Jose shaved. You know what I mean?
David's kind of got that longer, you know. But David likes a style and profile, man. If you look at the pictures, man, he's always got nice dress shirts on, you know. And Jose kind of takes the ripped jeans
I
and
hate the
t-shirt
Berkshire
approach.
Bowl. I never look at stuff like that. I'm like, the man can fight. That's all I need to know.
All right. I mean, you heard.
I don't care what
you heard what you heard what James and Kelly said on the Punchline. They say I dress with style because I wore my Chris Hansen shirt on their show.
Now listen, man. It's it's Kelly and James, bro.
What'd I say?
I mean, no, it's Kelly and James.
What'd I say? James and Kelly?
Either.
It's
You
build
want
it
to
wrong.
say it. Like
Okay.
what I'm saying is,
I'm dyslexic.
That's who you're taking as your claim that you know how to dress is Kelly and James.
Yes, absolutely.
James and Kelly. It don't matter which way you put it.
No,
That's your.
Sounds
that's
like
your
a whiskey.
They
James and Kelly. Yeah.
They boosted my ego.
They boost your ego.
They boosted my ego when they said that live on the. Hey, while we're on the subject, there was a news story that broke.
Uh-oh.
And you know,
I don't like news stories.
And I'll be one of the ones that admit I was not one of the 2,000 people that were probably in Kelly Pavlik's. But we're gonna go there because you're a fighter who got the itch. Tell everybody what that itch is when Kelly Pavlik said, "I got the itch." Describe the itch to fight again, from a fighter's perspective.
Okay, so that's kind of a tough question, but all right. So the itch, man, is the desire to fight again. Once you get into the sport of boxing, and this is what differs from a lot of other sports. Like, you play football, and if you get to high school and you don't go to college, or even if you go to college and play football, it ends. It ends. Boxing doesn't end like that. You know what I mean? You start when you're a young kid at 8. You train till you're 18, 19. Then you turn pro and you have a 10-year career. And then you retire. You think you're done. Well, you've never done anything else. 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 2-3 times a day training. You're constantly working out. You're constantly in the gym. You're constantly around the sport. You're watching boxing. You're hearing boxing. You're talking everything. You eat, sleep, drink boxing. And then when you put that out of your life, it's like, it's different. And at first it's okay, and then slowly you start missing it, man. And we say it all the time in the gym. When once boxing gets inside your blood, it never goes anywhere, and it's the hardest thing to walk away from, that one-on-one competition. So you get the itch to fight again, the desire, the want, and sometimes it's not even so much to fight again as it is you miss the training, and the fighting comes along with it. You miss the gym atmosphere, you miss the smell, you miss being there like that. And you hear me always say that boxing is a selfish sport. We're all selfish. We like the attention seekers. Well, no fighter will admit that, but hey, I sit on the outside, and you know, you start missing that attention as well. And that little feeler he gave out there was, you know, in my eyes, the itch to box again, the you know, kind of wondering like what's the perception going to be of people if I make this, if I come back, and you know, trying to weigh out your options and see where you lie. You know, I was shocked to actually hear him come out and say that he had the itch to box again. Of course, we would all love to see Kelly Pavlik strap up the gloves and get back in there and do his thing, because he was such a great fighter and he's such a good entertainer inside the ring. And, you know, with Kelly comes a lot of other things. Used to be negative, now it's positive.
Yes.
And I would love for Kelly to get back on that stage and let everybody see who Kelly Pavlik has become as he's matured in his life. You know what I'm saying? Not so much in his boxing career, because he matured in his boxing career real fast, you know, but he's matured in his life, and you know, he's got a lot of positive things going on, and you know, everybody deserves a second chance and a second opportunity. And I think in his second chance and his second opportunity, he's willing to step back in the ring and give it a go. And you know, let me just real quick. There was a time where, if I can go back in time, I remember, you know, having conversations with Kelly where, you know, I was always in like, oh, the fights are coming on, we gotta, you know, and Kelly would be like, I don't even care, I don't even like boxing, I just do it 'cause I'm good at it.
He said that when he was sitting in the chair Zion is, when we had him and James Dominguez on.
Yeah,
he said, like, you know, I'm really not even a big boxing fan, you know.
He's become a boxing.
He's found his niche. I mean,
enthusiast, and you're right. He's found his niche, but it's not really his niche. It's been who Kelly Pavlik has been since day one. He just never realized it.
Well, is that a replacement now that he does that, since he can't fight, or doesn't fight? Not can't, but doesn't fight.
You know what? I don't believe so. I believe that he was always a fan, and sometimes, you know, I get like the opposite. Like if I'm not in the gym and I'm not training, and I get kind of like a guilty conscience about not being there, and I have trouble even watching boxing on TV. Where Kelly, on the other hand, I feel like, you know, he used to not watch boxing because he was so involved in it. You know what I mean? Like one of them type of things. You know, I think he's always been a boxing fan. He tried to fight it off for a long time.
You ever put on the boxing matches on TV when you're just home hanging out?
No, but we do it in my own.
There you go. Do you have a favorite fighter, like a non-Youngstown fighter, so now you don't have to worry about like hurting anybody's feelings? Is there like a certain fighter that you had that you look forward?
Hurt. I'll just smack you with the mitts next time.
No.
Let me ask you this: Errol Spence Jr., Mikey Garcia is coming up. That's probably the next really big fight. Who do you got? Who does Zion got? I'm going out to Vegas, right? And I got some money. I got to put it on someone. And I don't know who to go, but I'm gonna trust your opinion. Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. Who do you got?
That is a tough one.
I truly think it's almost a toss-up. Hey, we got another call coming through.
Oh my God!
Mikey Garcia.
There she is.
Garcia fans.
Hey, you're on Fight Night Live in Youngstown. Who we got calling in?
Yo, it's the Diesel, man.
Darnell Boone, everybody. That's your man right there.
Boogeyman.
Hey, Zion, tell Darnell hi.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Z?
Nothing.
You're cooling?
Darnell and Z, they got a special bond, man.
Just cooling out.
No doubt. What you got going on up there, Z?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with the boys.
Z comes on, we get all the calls, man.
Yeah.
You're going to become our publicist. Darnell, what's going on, man? How's everything been going since we last caught up with you in November for your fight? Ended in a draw. I know that's not the result what you wanted, but where's Darnell Boone go from here?
Well, you know me, I'm always on the grind, man, still,
yeah.
No matter what. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, you know what I'm saying? The grind don't stop.
It's no shame in that, man. I mean, you take a look at your career. I mean, you got one of the most interesting box wrecks to look at. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, some of the wins you had, some of the losses you had, some of the robberies that you took, knocking down Andre Ward. How do you knock someone down in a 4-round fight and take the loss? I still don't know. I watched that tape, and I'm like, Darnell won that fight, but, you know.
You know, the politics You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I really don't dwell on it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? 'Cause if I stay in the past, it'll hinder my success from moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it just go from here and keep climbing and keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? My time gonna come. You know, I just got to keep working for it.
You know, back in November, we did a rescue mission fundraiser. Darnell, I, and a couple people, we actually served food. And I don't know, that was an eye-opening experience to me, but it was awesome to see the Youngstown boxing community really come together that day.
I took some pictures.
Most definitely, man. That was one of the best times of my life, too, right there, man. The looks on the people's faces was priceless.
And it was amazing. I had these kids come up to me. They're like, "Are you a fighter?" I said, "No, but you know, I report on the fighters." So I was showing them all the fighters were. And I had a kid come up to me. And they asked me, "Who's that?" And they pointed to you, Darnell. And I said, "There, right now, that guy right there. That is a guy that cannot find a fight because he is the most feared fighter in the nation. You know why? Because he can knock anybody out at any given time. I mean, I tell people all the time, man, you type in Darnell Boone's name on Twitter, and people always talk about the most feared 500 fighter. And I don't know if I really, I mean, I posted like a happy birthday thing to you on the Youngstown boxing thing, and then I had a lot of people chiming in on it, you know what I mean? And to see the support that you got globally is pretty phenomenal. I mean, you are known out there worldwide.
Yeah, man, I'm still like ecstatic about it. You know, most guys that's at 500, they don't really have that following like that.
Yeah.
So for me to have that following like that, man, it's like a big thing to me. So you know, I take all the energy that everybody pour in, whether it's negative or good, and you know, and I just keep working off of that. You know, and to use that few, you know, like kids like D growing up and coming up and that, looking at what I'm doing. You know, and I can pass some jewels on to Z so she can get better or show her little tricks of the trade, you know. So, you know, that's all I want to do, man. I want to help everybody learn. You know, I'm not going to be able to fight forever.
Yeah.
So I at least want to pass what I do know on all the young ones coming up.
And I've seen you down at the boxing gym pull like kids aside, help them. Hey, Darnell, hold the phone there. We're going to go to break and we'll come back and pick up with you.
Online, you can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We are back at you for our final segment here. Fight night in Youngstown. Brian, Vinny, special guest Z. Our boy Jim on the controls. And Darnell Boone, you still on the phone there?
Sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Vinny's over here. You want me to crack him for you?
Tell her what happened.
What happened? Hey, I got a question.
Vinny's got it all. Vinny asked the questions around here. You got the floor,
Are you
Vinny.
smiling right now?
We're still talking boxing, right?
I
Something
know.
a little weird.
Nah, man, I just know Darnell's sitting over there with a smile on his face.
Yes, sir.
Cheesed up. Ear to ear. Big smile. So what do you got planned? You were taking too long. What's on the agenda here, Diesel?
I already asked him that.
I know, like what's on his agenda? Like not on his boxing agenda. Like what's the word? What do you got going on? Like what's happening?
Well, I got an actual CD, a short EP that's about to come out sometime this year. I do music too, so I got that coming out soon. I have a book that's been getting wrote for the last couple of years that's still getting finished.
Oh, okay. That's pretty much like a biography about your career and everything.
Right.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man.
These guys had got in touch with me.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a new boxing game coming out pretty soon, and they got in touch with me. They want me on that. So that's what I got going so far. And other than that, I'm about to get back in the gym myself and start training.
I hope they come out with a game on there so I can finally beat you.
Yeah, man. Well, it's in the making now. They got a website. It's roundforroundboxing.com where you can go check out some of the graphics.
I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Darnell, I know you're pretty close with Danny Rosenberger. He's got a fight coming up in Mountain Air, February 14th, I believe it is, or 16th, one of those 2 dates. It's slipping my mind. Is Danny going to let his hands go this time or what?
Huh?
Is Danny going to let his hands go this fight or what? It seems like I tell Vinny this all the time. Danny Rosenberger, every other fight he lets his hands go.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to. Well, even every time I see him, I talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Danny can beat anybody if he let his hands go. Cause Danny is strong and he's fast. He's not the most technically sound, but
he's pretty awkward a little bit.
Yeah. But it worked for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his style.
Yeah.
He's good at what he do. If Danny let his hands go the way I know he can, Danny can be a champ, man. He just gotta get confidence in what he's doing and get confidence in what he got.
So many times. Danny punches hard, and so many times I've seen Danny throw that punch that lands. The guy's stunned. He just doesn't have anything following it. He throws that one punch and he kind of goes on a retreat. And if he would throw his punches and, in the combinations, throw them in pairs, I mean, he has something coming behind it. It's lights out. I saw that. I've seen that in 3 of his losses I've seen him take. I mean, the kid's a busy fighter. And at Mountain Air, the one fight, and I think it was against his fight against Justin Steve. And I think it was the 3rd round. Danny caught him. I mean, right on the body. And Steve, you could just tell, wobbled legs. But Danny didn't have anything come behind it. And I remember the guy that was sitting at the media table next to me, he said, if he would have had another punch following it, it was lights out. But and I said, I just hope that's something that Danny's going to do. And I told Vinny, it's every other fight for Danny. It seems like he lets his hands go. So I wouldn't want to be the guy that's going to be fighting him at Mountain Air February. I have a feeling Danny, every other fight's going to let his hands go. So fingers crossed with that.
Hey, Boone, we got a question here on Facebook, man. Who do you have this weekend? Lopez or Thurman?
Thurman, man.
You liking Thurman?
Can none of them guys really stop? If they can't keep Thurman off his bike, everybody in trouble.
Yeah, I've said it.
Most dangerous when he's moving.
Yep. Hey, to me, a lot of the times when I'm watching boxing, I tell people all the time that the guy with the better feet's always gonna win the fight. You know what I mean? Whoever's got the best movement, whoever can has the better footwork, can better foot speed. I would say, 8 out of 10 times is more than likely going to win a fight. If they're stepping forward on the ball of their foot rather than heel to toe with their jab, and they're staying quick with their feet, then their hands move. If you can get them both to move simultaneously together, You know what I'm saying? The guy with the better footwork usually wins. And Thurman's got really good footwork, and I think that's what's carried him for most of his career. And helps out with his punching power. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, we can't take away from his power. He's got thunder in each hand, but I think his good footwork.
That's why he hasn't really been knocking nobody out and moving more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But he's picking everybody apart.
Well, you know just as well as I do. As the competition starts getting better, so do their chins.
True.
So, you could be a big puncher, and eventually you're gonna run into that level of competition who's been hit by guys that can hit, and then therefore you have to start relying on your other skills to carry you to be a not just a champion, but to leave a legacy in your professional boxing career. And some guys have it and some guys don't. Some guys, their power carries them so far, and then then they run out. When people start taking their power, then they don't know what to do. I always say, and you know this from being around me for so long and us knowing each other for so many years. It's all about being able to have a diverse skill set. Where you can box if you have to box, you can bang if you have to bang, you can brawl if you have to brawl. You need to utilize all those tools. You got to have good footwork. To be the complete package. You can't just always be looking to land that big bomb, because what happens when it ain't there?
Exactly.
The last thing to go, though, is the power. At least that's what they say.
Oh,
I don't have any power, so I go and hit the heavy bag and it don't even move.
Good thing we got young people in the studio tonight, Brian. So you got a lot of things going on, man. It's good to hear that stuff coming from you. What did you think about? I got to do this. What did you think about your boy bringing it back to the hood, doing it for the hood this past weekend?
Man.
Go ahead, give it to me. Give it to me.
Well, I was actually going back out, but I was pulling for him. But all his big fights, he always dropped the ball on his big fights. All the fights that could put him into the stardom that he's looking for.
Yeah. I want to know what he was thinking when he jumped up on the ropes thinking he won that fight.
I want to know what the best line I've heard all year so far is they can't cheat me this time. My jaw hit the ground, and I was getting ready to just change the station, but I was like, I gotta listen to the rest of this.
Dude, you did not change the station. Adrian Bonner has a microphone in front of him.
Oh, that's one of the reasons I was going to change the channel. I can't stand listening to dude run his suck. I don't like it.
I love it. He's
I can't
funny.
stand it.
He's comedic.
He's not funny. He's not funny. He's an idiot, and I can't deal with that. But anyways, I was happy to see him get beat again. But I just want to know, he brought it back to the hood. He was actually fighting like he was in the hood. Everybody seen them hood videos, street fights?
I'm trying to fight like Floyd, man. We've been doing that for years.
Well, that's why I've never been an Adrian Broner fan, and I'll continue to say this until I'm dead. Is he adopted a guy? He adopted a style from another guy. He's not original. Nothing he does is original. Everything that he does seems to be like he's trying to be somebody else. I've never been a big fan of his. And then he runs his mouth and just ruins everything, any little bit of skill and talent that he has. He used to be a pretty decent fighter, but like I said, you start running into the top competition and it changes.
Did you think he was trying to adopt the style that Mayweather had when he fought Pacquiao? I mean, because Mayweather's a defensive fighter and he's fantastic at it.
Well, no, Adrian Broner has been trying to be, in my words, he's been trying to be Floyd Mayweather since he was a kid.
Day one, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And he's always compared himself to him. I mean, he's the first to
About
say
billions, his whole AB about billions.
He's about the bucket.
Yeah, there's only one Floyd Mayweather, and that's there'll never be another one like that.
I mean, here's what I'm saying. Darnell Boone has his own style. Danny Rosenberg has his own style.
Danny Rosenberg definitely
Vinny
has his own
O'Neal
style.
Has his own style. The Rodriguez brothers have their own style. Keith Thurman is. What I mean? I can go on and on and on, and then you go to Adrian Broner, and it's like, well, he thinks he's Floyd.
No, Floyd has the ability to adapt, though. I mean, he adapts to his fights.
Floyd's a chameleon.
Yeah, he's fantastic at it, and I don't think that Broner has the ability to do that. Although somewhere in his head, he's playing at the idea that he does.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I'm not a fan. I just had to, since I had Boone on the line.
Hey, Darnell.
I wanted to bring it up.
Hey, we were talking earlier, and you said something, how you, when you're at a gym, you say to young kids, you like to pass along the knowledge that they, you have to them, to the young kids. And I know you've seen videos of Zion doing her thing, hitting the mitts, hitting the bags. You see anything in her that maybe you can offer her some advice? Anything you've seen in her quest to maybe take up the sport of boxing?
Well, I help G all the time. So you know what I'm saying? I just kind of go play by ear with Z because I'm always in the gym with her.
Yeah.
Well, when I am there, but I seen a video of her the other day. She was looking real good. But Vinny had her jumping to the side, hitting the mitt. That works for her.
You hear that, Z? Yeah. She got a big smile on her face. She's not the most talkative girl right now. I mean, I usually at the gym, you're talking a lot more than you do now. You're a little shy on us.
Wait a minute. What kind of talking in the gym? Are we talking trash talk? Zion, do you trash talk at the gym? No. Oh, okay. Because some of them boys need that.
Sometimes.
Hey, you know what I told her dad, though? This is the best thing for him, because you know what? First boy that does her dirty, he gonna catch that hook.
If I'm dad, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about this, I tell you. That's...
Especially when she's going to be friends with all the boys in the gym. She ain't even got to lift a knuckle.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just like, yo, guys.
Certain benefits to go with it.
That's why I befriended a boxer as my best friend. I mean... anybody wants to come up to me, man, I just say, hey, Vinny, man,
Just make a referral, that's it. Here, talk to my friend.
Everybody wants to call, everybody always wants to hurry up and be like, hey, Vinny, man. This is the story of my life.
Darnell, you ever get your homeboys coming up to you to handle their lightweight work or their heavy work?
Man, they're in the hood. You know what happened to a brother in the hood if he comes out like, hey, Darnell, you got my back?
Always the one to swing first.
Man, I'm the least hood person there is. I'm from the suburbs of Liberty, all right?
I'm just saying, like, hey, the people around, Boone and my age, tend to be like, if they come up to me like, yo, Vinny, man, I got somebody after me, I'd be like, well, handle your business. And Boone being from, like, deep in the south side, like, I'm sure his people ain't coming up to him like, Darnell, someone's picking on me. You get clowned in one of those households.
Hey, Darnell, I've heard stories about when you first started boxing, and I don't know how true it is. I may have misheard a little bit, but I heard you pretty much like rolled into the gym, and when you first started sparring, you pretty much wanted the best of the best right off the bat. Is that any truth to that? Taking on Kelly, pretty much when you're
first day in the gym, man.
That's what I heard, man. And then I heard back at it, pretty much from what I hear is they didn't expect you to come back the next day, and there you were, man.
Well. Let me.
Yeah, man, he put that thrax on me.
He did. Here's what happened though. Darnell walked up in the gym willing to box anybody in the gym, and when Jack said, "Okay, who do you want?" he saw the tall, skinny, goofy-looking white boy and was like, "I want him," and Jack was like, "You want him?"
The future undisputed middleweight champion of the world, by the way.
He was
so
like,
you're saying Kelly was Woody Harrelson and White Man Can't Jump?
Hey, at that point, Kelly was an awkward, skinny-looking, goofy, dorky white boy. Like, hey, looked like he was rolling around with skis on his feet. You know what I mean? Like Kelly was funny looking for a while, man. We'd be like, man, look at them feet. Jack would be like, yeah, he's gonna be like 6'6", like maybe. But honestly,
he said skis.
Hope he's gonna grow into those things.
Yeah, he was awkward. You know what I mean? He got tall real quick and was real skinny. I don't know.
Right.
Darnell said, I want him, and then. We were like, oh, no. Then they got in there, and, Kelly put it on him. And Darnell left, and we were like, yo, he won't be back after that. Darnell showed up the next day. We were like, okay, then.
I first heard Darnell Boone's name, thrown around by a friend of mine. Actually, I was at a Liberty football game, and Darnell, you remember Brandon Winter?
Yeah, that's my dude right
there.
He used to have with Billy.
Yeah, Brandon Winter and Billy Lyell were at the Liberty football game. We're sitting there talking boxing. They're like, dude, listen, you got to keep an eye out for this dude, Darnell Boone. And I'm like, okay. And, lo and behold, I heard a lot of that name. But, Billy Lyell and Brandon Winter, man, they're the first ones to to kind of put your name out there, you know, that this guy's got some power and whatnot. And hey, Brandon's doing some good things. He was running a pizza place out in Niles, but I think he closed down shop. He's now opening up a new place in Howland, and I think he's going to open it up in springtime. So I always go and visit him, and we talk some boxing and whatnot. So I don't know when the last time you've talked to him, but next time I talk to him, make sure you tell him you said hi.
Oh, most definitely. I ain't talked to Brandon in years, man.
I'll tell him to get in touch with you, man.
Most definitely. Gotta work, man.
Brand's a good dude. Well, Darnell,
Yeah, he is, man.
Darnell, man, anything you want to talk about, or you got some things you got to get going and doing, man? The floor is yours, man.
You know me, man. I'm just a fly in the wind, man.
What's going on? What's going on with your music? I mean, you said you're gonna be putting out a CD.
Yeah, well, that'll be coming out pretty soon. It's called the Artistic Attack.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that'll be coming out pretty soon. It's 7 songs on there.
7 songs, okay. Are you gonna release that through like a digital platform, or are you gonna go the straight old school order like a box of CDs and peddle them at the mall?
I can't believe you didn't ask me for a cameo.
We got our own independent label.
Okay.
That we have. It's called 1093 Entertainment.
Yeah.
And it'll be coming out up under that.
Hey, when you get everything fresh and polished, send it into the radio station. And I don't know what kind of language is on there, but we can probably clean it up a little bit.
You can play it on the show.
And play it on the show. Yeah.
That's true. I don't use profanity in my rap.
That's what I'm talking about. That's like, you know.
Oh, that's how come you've never asked me to come be a background singer.
Dude, Vinny does pretty good on the show. The
you
first time
you didn't want me rapping with you.
When we first started doing this show, and I'm like, Vinny, man, I'm gonna need a co-host. You down? And I was all like, I've heard his mouth. I've heard his mouth in the corner. There's been times I've recorded fights, and I'm like, well, I can't post this. So I'm sitting by his corner.
I've gotten reprimanded quite a few times by the USA
Probably
judges.
by Leslie.
Oh, Leslie, Ben.
Dude, I'll tell you. Let me tell this funny Leslie story. Leslie Washington, who's pretty much, I don't know exactly what she does with Lake Area Boxing Association of USA Boxing, but she's a riot. And there's this kid that walks by Forest Fun. You could just smell the kid, like, you know what I mean? And Leslie's nose crinkled up, and she yells over to his coach. She goes, Coach, before you ever bring this kid to another event, you better have him take a shower.
Yeah, she don't pull no punches, man. She's straight.
Never
to the
wonder
point.
what she's thinking.
Before I started my website, I was sitting at a table. She goes, "What are you doing up here?" Or when I first started it, and like, you know what I mean, I'm like, "Oh, I got a boxing website." She didn't think I was legit, so I had to pull it out and show her. She goes, "This is pretty good."
The website.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She just thought I was there. Like
I had to pull it out and show her. I'm like, well,
I don't know where that was going.
Yeah, me neither for a minute there.
Oh, whatever.
And she was a little rough on me the first couple times out too, because like I didn't know what was going on. Jack didn't give me any heads up. He just kind of threw me out there like, "Hey, here, take the kids and go." And I showed up to these things, and nothing was in order. Everything was all over the place, and she was giving me a hard time. I was scared of her at first. I was like, man, I don't know what to do. But anyways, yeah. Darnell, you're going to have to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get at me so I can get on some of them tracks.
I want to get on, too.
Get on them on tracks.
I'll be like that guy in the Boys to Men with the deep voice.
I just want to stand off in the corner of one of your music videos and just stand there. So everyone will be like, yo, what was that weird white dude doing in the corner of the video just standing there the whole time?
Baby, all those times you made me get cucked, I knew about them. I just didn't care. That's good stuff, though, man.
When we get off, send me the email, or I can send you my single.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll be in touch or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's what we try to do on here is, you know, as much as we can promote the local Youngstown stuff that's going on. Hey, you know the kid that fought Rough and Rowdy. What's his country? I know him as
Wild Will.
Wild. You know, what I'm talking about the kid with the mustache.
Will Lundy.
You know him if you saw him. He was yeah.
You know Will.
He does country. He's from Tennessee originally. In fact, Nashville, and so he lives up here on a farm and stuff. Does his thing, but he plays acoustic guitar and does some country music. So we're gonna have him on. I think.
Yeah, you could get with him and do. You guys could
do a duet,
boogie
man.
Down. Yeah, a little duet boogie.
I'm most definitely got to get with him. If I don't do that, I'll definitely want something.
Yeah, see that? Hey, out here making connections. That's how we do it.
The crossover's the big things now, man. That's the big thing in the music industry now is the crossover.
Well, you got to be able to do all that. You got to be able to make music in any genre now. You know what I'm saying? It's out of being stuck on one mode. Well, I know I like to touch different ethnics and different people. You know what I'm saying? As far as the music.
Gotta make those connections. You gotta be diverse.
Hey, so if you mix country and rap, it would literally be crap music.
Way to go, Vinny. You just coined it.
Yeah, it would literally be crap music. I got you, man. See that? I come up with stuff just like that. Don't know.
But didn't Nelly do that?
I have no idea. I don't follow
Yeah, he did one with Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
Hey, I dated
remember that.
I dated this girl in high school who had
No,
like
you didn't.
Okay, listen, I dated this girl in high school who had paranoia issues, and there was a hole in her wall, and she was like paranoid that like I think they lived in a duplex, and she was paranoid the neighbor like had like a hidden camera or something like that. So
that's not paranoid.
So
That's
listen,
schizophrenic.
So she put a Band-Aid over it, and she called it the Nelly wall.
I used to wear the Band-Aid on his
Yeah,
cheek.
he used to wear the Band-Aid on his thing. Well, Darnell, man, thanks for giving us a buzz. I think our show's going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. But, hey, you don't know what you ought to do is actually come in here in studio sometime and kick it with us and do a show with us live.
Yeah, we're about...
Man, just let me know when, where, and I'll be there, man.
Dude, awesome. We'll be in touch. That'd be fun, man.
They call country and rap hip-hop.
He's over here Googling this stuff. I guarantee it.
Nah, man, J. Kim just said they call country and country and rap hip-hop.
What's up, J. Kim?
I kind of like it, hip-hop.
It's catchy.
Yeah, it is catchy.
Darnell Boone, everybody. Darnell, thanks for joining us, man.
It's like Eminem music, hip-hop.
That was a good call, man. Darnell's awesome.
Yep, got to see him fight in November. He makes for an exciting fight too.
Darnell's
He really
Darnell,
does.
man.
Hey,
He's
just
never
so-
out of a fight, man.
Just so everybody knows, he's off the phone, but he's still smiling.
Z, man, Darnell's your boy, man.
Yeah, but it's your turn. We're coming to get you now. You
Wait,
ready?
we got
You ready
another
for
call
us,
coming
Z?
through? We got another call. Okay, let's pick it up. See what we
Hey,
get.
we're hot tonight.
Oh, I kind of recognize.
Darnell pranking us.
You're on Fight Night in Youngstown. Who we got here?
I just wanted to call real quick, guys. So, this is Marcus, Ohio.
Snap, man.
Marcus,
Hey,
our
you
man.
had to call at the end of the show, man. Why'd you do that? You got to call it
Because
early.
we actually had Jose on the Darnell.
I'm listening and working at the same time, so I didn't even know this was our show. I finally caught it, man. I've been working.
Because hey, we could probably run a whole hour with you.
Dude,
on
we
the
could do
line.
an hour with you. You gotta let us know when you're off work, and we're gonna have like you specifically call in for the whole hour. Anybody who doesn't know, this is Marcus. Ohio runs boxing. He wears like a Chinese hat that has his logo on. This dude is legendary. He is, dude. There's two people you gotta be friends with on Facebook if you like boxing. Boxing with sense of humor. James Dominguez and Marcus. Ohio runs boxing.
Yep.
Marcus is hilarious.
Yep. So what's going on, my man?
I love it, man. I hate that I called the last minute, man. I know y'all wrapping up, but yeah, just wanted to show y'all some love, man. Didn't have too much to say. I know that boner was,
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear our call with Jose Rodriguez
It was
earlier?
hard to say he was from Ohio.
Oh, absolutely. I heard Jose. I love the call. I'm actually gonna go see him fight in Cincinnati. I'm gonna go support him fighting. Well, pretty much Kentucky, but yeah. But I'm gonna go to that fight. I missed his first one, but I did pay on Fight the app. I forgot it's called Fight something. It's $14.99, but I actually supported that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to. Hey, make sure you let us know when you're gonna go down there. Maybe we'll make the trip.
Oh, definitely, man. We definitely gonna have to make that. We're gonna have to link up, man.
Dude,
y'all gonna meet the mystery man.
Yeah, for sure.
This Ohio boxing, like, you know, this community that we've like formed with this boxing in the area online is like pretty phenomenal. It all kind of seemed to link together with the punchline, you know. That's what's fun about everything. But you know, Marcus is very opinionated, but he admits when he's wrong. I mean, he wears his Ohio pride on his back, most definitely.
Absolutely. I think it's fun. I'm the king of trolls, so can't really nobody troll me when it comes to the internet. It's really not that serious.
Yeah.
But even with Manny Pacquiao, I had Manny and Broner fight. I had Manny win in before the fight was first announced, and I was like, I just don't see Broner outworking him. And then the Philippines love them all. They got a great champion down there. They forced my hand. I got so many friend requests. you bet not root for Manny, root for Broner. It was hilarious, man. So I was just like, okay.
Our
One
man.
more shot.
Hey, well, thanks for calling in, Marcus. We're going to get you on, so you got, like, longer time next time, but thanks for giving us a buzz, brother.
Definitely, man.
All
We
right.
appreciate it.
Definitely.
Marcus, Ohio runs boxing. Zion, you've been
Question-
saying they're quiet.
Question and answer time.
What do you got to say, man? What do you want to say? Why do you love boxing?
Yeah. No.
Same reason Vinny does. We don't know.
You don't know.
Well, here's a question. Do you do this for exercise, or do you actually want to get in
Do
the
you
ring? Do you want
wanna
to get in a fight?
Yeah.
You want to fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's our girl.
Yeah. So Zion's been in the gym with us for
7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. But we'll probably I'll probably you know what I'm saying. I know your dad's gonna have a whole mouthful to say to this, but she's been around the gym for about 7 months. But they live kind of far away, so if you really put it down to it, she's probably trained for a total of 3 months. You know, if you wrap up all those days, because there's days she's not there. She started coming a lot more now, and we're starting to move her in a direction to get ready to fight. And she's been sparring. She's got some sparring with Whan the other day for her first time, and she did real well.
Well, at her age and her weight, is there a girls' Division IV boxing now, or is that something they do co-ed?
Well, no, the girls have their own, girls box girls, and it's out there now. Around these parts, it's hard to find other girls in the area and around,
especially so young and
so young.
Who
you know
loves
what I mean?
it?
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at with the female boxing in general. Is there's not a huge, like you're not gonna find 10 girls in Youngstown that are boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You're going to probably have to travel a little bit.
You're gonna have to travel. You're gonna have to move. Boxing can be real boring. You're gonna have to get your boxing in with boys. But with that being said, to have a young lady like this involved in boxing, that thing's been turned off all day. That's how
did it
come
go off?
That's how come I've been asking about time.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so to have somebody involved young like this, a girl, is good for the sport, to bring her out and maybe bring other girls into the fold.
We'd sort of like to have her back because I'm interested in this story now. She's unique, so
Yeah, you kind of got screwed.
She's going to make a name for herself.
We'll see if
That's our show going out. For Jim, Vinny, Brian, Zion, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Youngstown, protect yourself at all times and fight on.